Doodoo fans here, actually.
Yeah.
In the audience, I saw multiple Doodoo fan signs. Of course, referring to, you know, Doodoo and stuff like that. There was one sign that just only had the Korean syllable for do, just all over it in different styles and stuff. Pretty cool.
Yeah. See the Vex ban here. Interesting, considering that LeBlanc is already removed. We haven't seen too much Vex outside of the counter pick. It's, besides some, you know, isolated incidents.
Victor?
Yeah, I think it's an easy Victor call here for Gen G if you want to be
Take
able to
it
match
away?
the scaling.
As well?
Yeah, because it's insanely good for Hanwha Life Esports if they get their hands on it here. Alternatively, yeah, this is the other pick because if you have a Kali, you can burst down because you can no longer, of course, take something like a Talon with this Yuumi. It doesn't make sense. You already have the Jarvan too. You could have taken Talon instead of Jarvan against
Talon
this.
mid. Bring it back.
The ability now for Hanwha Life Esports though to use this extreme late game comp, and they'll take the. It looks like they're taking the Azir over the Victor here. Is well, they changed it at the last second. The difference is obviously being that Victor is going to be able to do a little bit more consistent damage, whereas Azir is going to give you a little bit more mid-game fighting power and a little bit more control of engage. Interesting, and then the blind Gragas is always the safest blind. It's still possible that it's a Kali top, but it seems likely that that will be in Chovy's hands right now. Still haven't really seen any Jace into this Gragas. We're not seeing that at all right now. Definitely something I wouldn't hate here because you can chip away a lot at Hanwha Life Esports' comp, but with how mobile they are with the Karma, really hard to pull that one off. If you want a strong side lane here, you could go for the Camille still. Oh, they go for the Gnar. It's so Gnar dependent. You already have decent setup engage, but Gnar is not going to be able to last through this Aphelios Victor damage very long in the beginning of a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big question, you know. Can you CC the Aphelios? And if you can't, and you can't really get your Gnar onto the Aphelios, which is going to be very difficult, by the way, with the Karma right next to him, it's going to be, you're basically just going to melt. I mean, you can go full tank and all that, but Aphelios loves when these champions go straight into him. The only range that they really have is Jhin, and I suppose Yuumi to help out with that. And you're not really looking at mini Gnar when we're talking about setting up for a team fight, right? So I feel like this will be a pretty nice game for Samd to do some huge Aphelios damage. And if the game goes long, they have a lot of scaling to back it up.
Yeah, I agree. And considering, too, that this is also another composition that can punish very hard small mistakes and overextensions like we saw from Gen G, especially in Game 2, a little bit in the early game of Game 1. Like, you have a Gragas who can cast somebody's out of position, you've got a Xin Zhao, and then you even have Karma to root and to help chase and to secure kills. Gen G's composition is on hard mode. Like, this is very difficult to pull off, very, very technical, extremely high risk, precision comp. You mess up one setup on a fight, you get picked, kiss your 5v5 goodbye.
Seems harsh, but we've seen it happen before. You could say, hey, I mean, Gen G are the better team, but they've already dropped a map here. A game to Hanwha Life Esports. I'm learning from you now about these maps.
There you go. There you go. Map it in.
Yeah, and you look at Hanwha Life's comp. It's such a like clean meta composition right now. Like every champion is top 2 in their roles, top 3. It just feels so good. It works well together. It can perform on many different levels. Like, they don't have heavy split push, but their team fighting is really insane.
It checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
You never have to look at it and go, well, I wonder how this is going to work out later on. We know exactly how it works out if it's played correctly and they get to a late game where they're not too far behind and they play around flanks from Chovy and Doran. If you could take the Men in Black like memory deleter, like the flashy pointer pen, and delete my memory of games 1 and 2, I think I'd still slightly favor Hanwha Life Esports' comp, but I'd be like, but it's Gen G, can they pull it off? But after watching what we've seen tonight and how volatile the players of Gen G look in this particular night of League of Legends, because on any given day, performances are different, bad day at work, as Chronicler put it, I do have some questions about the performance here. As you can see, Ruler, pretty high win rate on this champion.
17-4. You look at 81, and it's like, oh, I mean, you know, we've seen like 83. But this is a very, you know, relatively high sample size as well. So Ruler definitely knows his way around the Jhin. We learned that his weapon is called Whisper.
Yes.
Jin's hand cannon.
Thanks, G-Sun.
Yes. For that wonderful delegation of information. And for the translation later.
Yes. We're just preemptively doing it. We don't actually do the thank yous for the translation on the caster desk anymore.
Yeah, we got to get them in.
Yeah.
At a time.
I know it's going to be great. I already know. Like, I have 100% faith.
We have a lot of evidence.
Yes. Proven history. You put 16 and 14 and 6 rather for Chobi. You put G-Sun's good translation rate up. It's like there's too many numbers to fit on the screen, and it says 100% next to it as well.
Can we get that graph next time on the analyst desk, maybe? Thank you.
Yeah, look up how many games you've translated. Good luck. Well, right now it's a pretty quiet early game. On Fleek paying a visit down here, but won't be able to pull anything off until Gravenum is up.
Imagine if he was in that brush waiting. Like, Ruler just stepped right up to that brush and nothing happened.
Yep.
Could have been big. Yep.
But he didn't know, of course, where Peanut was at the time and had to drop that ward. As obviously Akali's going to have a bad time early. It's Chovy. Guarantee he'll be up in CS more than he is by the one.
He's already.
Yeah. Later on, okay. He's doing a great job. As Peanut will take control of the top side of the jungle. Bit of an exchange here. And the, early game of the Aphelios Karma is extremely frustrating to deal with. It pushes super hard. With Caliber out, you can poke, you can be annoying. Then once Gravitum's out, they have to respect that. A jungler might be nearby and end up getting rooted. That's the end of that. Vista is just going to continue to even AoE this minion wave as he tries to harass. And this is not going to be interesting for a while.
So, well, you were mentioning Men in Black. What percentage of our audience right now watching on Twitch have seen that movie? Do you think? Dudu might actually die here. Nope, he's going to be okay.
He's all right.
And a missed cannon. Oof. Just got to point that out because we didn't get the zoom in from Jonas Strong.
I would put it, and I'd say conservatively, maybe 60% haven't seen it.
Wow.
I think
haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'd say 40% have seen it. I think audience is not that young yet, but I'm always just trying to size up Twitch chat. Like, I'm always like, who are you really out there?
Yeah, I was thinking similarly. I was gonna say like maybe 35% have seen it. So,
because I think it's a pretty recognizable thing. The memory flasher thing. I don't know what it's called. The memory pen, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I think that is more recognizable than the movie to a lot of people now because it's been such a part of pop culture. Like I think maybe if you haven't seen the movie, you still know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think
if you don't, I sound like a crazy person.
In a meme, some year in the internet. But, yeah, people should know about it.
Well, I mean, in this early part of the game, we do see Gen G sneak away a Drake, actually. And there's no vision around the river here whatsoever. The timing of when On Fleek was down here was too early for that vision to remain, and then he wasn't able to make a second pass quickly enough. There's a very nice control ward there here from Vista, but too late to be effective. So really early objective for Gen G with no contest, no cross-map plays whatsoever. And they do this while Doran is pushing a top turret. So you're kind of winning on all regards right now.
Yeah, feels pretty good. Again, that initial Infernal Drake, we were talking about the value of that. No Cloud Soul in this game because Cloud Drake is up next. What do you think it's going to be? Chemtech Soul? Hextech Soul?
I'm kind of feeling Hextech Soul, actually, yeah.
Hextech? Okay.
Yeah, we had a mountain earlier. We've got a Hextech today, too. You'll say Ocean?
Yeah, I feel like we were having a lot of Oceans in week 1, but a little bit underrepresented, I feel.
Yeah, I feel that, actually.
Too.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I still think it's going to be Hextech if I had to make my official prediction, but
okay.
I respect your prediction on something that's completely based on probability, and we have no control over.
Yeah. I'll delegate. We'll say that Chronicler, of course, he goes for Chemtech because he loves that soul. And we'll say that Atlas goes for Mountain.
Not
because he's built like a mountain. There you go. It's perfect. It works perfectly.
There you go. Can't believe you did Chronicler dirty like that. You can't even.
Chronicler actually despises the Chemtech soul. For you guys who didn't catch that. But we'll still,
the only person in the world who dislikes it, of course.
Oh yeah, he's the only one. We'll give it to him anyway because he's recognized by that soul and how much he hates it.
I do want to point out the CS difference in the bottom lane. It's pretty big, and it's pretty standard as well to see a somewhat of a gap when it's just a 2v2 with no attention being given. But this is really starting to add up quite massively with this Karma just shoving minions in, and Samdi is constantly harassing the laners as well, so it's harder for them to CS. And I mean, they're not at a plate yet, but Vista's just stacking up that Spelthius Edge gold off of the turret, and they're going to rotate up here right now. Well, it looked like they might because Chovy was missing and On Fleek was there, but I'm actually just going to take a little back timing. The Rift Herald is live, so everybody's trying to set up for this. With the pressure bot, it's pretty tough for Gen G to actually make the call to go for this. And they will keep Samdi bottom while Vista rotates in. It's the mid and top pressure that make it hard for Hanwha Life Esports to also start. That's why we're kind of at this lull where no one's on it at the moment. But as Hanwha Life Esports here, if you're going to rotate your Karma up, you have to make a play of some kind. And if you don't, you just give a free back to the bot laners, which may be the case as Karis is just going to use Vista here to push the wave.
Yeah. Still, send On Fleek up there and say, hey, I mean, we've got Karma up here. She's level 6. She's doing some stuff, getting vision for our team, and we're going to secure this objective. But, yeah, Hanwha Life still taking it a little bit slow. Nice Gnar into the wall, into the follow-up wallop. This is a lot of damage right now onto Dudu. He will have that cask available as the boomerang will even land. But still, this is part of why Gragas is just so reliable. He can absorb a lot of pressure and still stick around with the sustain.
He's also extremely sustainable, like you mentioned. Yeah, he even has one more refillable pot. Like, right now, Dudu's probably like, well, your Gnar bar is down, so like I think this is a win for me. Like my team is rotating over, and I think we might actually be able to make a contest now. With Yuumi up there, it's not actually going to be the case. His health bar is still sitting at 2/3. And Gen G are kind of very slowly grinding this one out. Now Dudu's ready to go over the wall. Doran's almost at another Gnar bar.
And yeah, I mean, Peanut goes over the wall and he says, okay, I'm out of there. I'm not tanking this. You guys can tank it up. Here come the 80 carries. Samdi's got red and white. And as Atlas likes to say, you don't fight when those are available, but he's ready to fight.
He's ready to fight. He's up here.
He's ready to get in there. Let's see. As Hanwha Life just really nicely done pulling it up to the north. And you see that Gen G not really confident enough to take the fight right now, and they say, okay, it's yours.
Doran's Gnar bar is fading away. Was there for a majority of that, neutral fight there, but he's not able to actually set up for any engages. And even though Ruler had, okay, On Fleek's here.
Doesn't look like they saw him trying to dash onto Doran, and Doran just laughs at him, is able to get the kill, first blood, as it will be traded back. On Fleek does pick up the kill at least.
Yeah, and a little bit of bounty gold there as well. Actually, no, that was the assist gold on Dudu. I thought that was a bounty. How did he have a bounty already? Yeah, it was a 150 there because he did it on top of Dudu's body. But the objective does go to Hanwha Life Esports here. It's held by the Jin Zhao, and he is going to be able to put it where he wants, as we're going to watch this one more time. On Fleek is able to able to identify there's no ward here. And unfortunately for Dudu, he did get that proc there of the Gnar autos, all three. Doran is able to burst him down. There's that 150 assist I was talking about. So picking up some money. And Gen G just a little bit timid on that exchange there of the Rift Herald itself. Find themselves 200 gold up for the moment, but I think that those plates are going to be put into either the bot or mid lane for those carries, as Victor already holding that Crown of the Shattered Queen against an Akali. Very nice for survivability, but very easy to shatter because of her shurikens.
Yeah. Sometimes she does have to use some cooldowns to get on in there, but is able to shatter that either way, and you can see that On Fleek comes into the middle and is able to get that down. Blast forced here onto Somd. The root still comes down, but they are still okay to fight this. Our Humalife's bottom lane. Peanut is around, just waiting for Vista to face check this.
Yeah, Vista's got to be so careful about doing that. Meanwhile, Chovy overextending, but he's a Kali.
Should be fine. He has to ult to get out of this, though, as he is knocked up and ults and finally gets away.
Still going to be a turret here for Karis. He already picked up the plates. This is a lot of gold over to the Victor.
No Gnar here, but the boomerang is on point, and there is the solo kill. Doran able to pick up yet another one tonight.
He is really on fire here, and the Gnar pick is starting to really look like a great decision because he's played out so many of these topside fights very well. The question becomes now, will he be able to utilize his gold advantage? Because we often talk about when games are close like this in terms of gold, but it's still several kills and, you know, plates going down. Where is the gold for Genji? The gold for Genji is on this Gnar, and this is really well played by Doran. And Dudu, unfortunately, just been taking a bunch of abuse this game. Is able to proc that auto one more time in the mini Gnar. But the gold for Hanalife Esports is on an Aphelios, who's 20 CS up in the bot lane, was able to get a plate down there, and on a Victor, who was able to pick up the plates in mid lane. So arguably, right now, if you just snapshot this moment, you're liking the position of Hanalife Esports where that gold has gone, because it's on your critical carries versus the Gnar, which is, you know, still somewhat of an inconsistent picture, or piece of the picture.
I won. It was Ocean Soul.
Oh, you did it.
I got it. GG. So glad I won that.
Yeah, we will give you your prize later.
Yep, thank you very much.
It's all of the stats papers and stuff that we've got collected on the desk.
Oh, great. I get to carry them all.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can put them wherever you want. But if you do
study.
want to do the right thing, put it in the recycling bin.
There you go. And, I mean, he was the one who actually started the fight the last time. This time around, feels like now Doran, with the Gore Drinker already done, he's getting in there. He's trying to make all these fights happen as much as possible. And feels pretty good about that. And, yeah, I mean, just to go off your point, I think that Hanalife are totally fine with their position right now. You know, like, they're just sitting back. It's mostly even. I mean, it is even in terms of gold. And they're scaling.
Yeah.
Just waiting, you know. I think that Chovy can do some real damage later on in the game, especially because he's got a nice little farm lead. He's farming up well himself. And he can do a lot, but
nice
that was a pretty sick cleanse.
Yeah, nice cleanse there. Otherwise, he gets rooted and things get disastrous, especially because On Fleek is here. But yeah, I mean, everything you and I are saying right now seems to hold true, but we're still at a stage of this game where Genji have... As Chovy, is he going to get out of this one again?
He has his ultimate. He's waiting for that second charge. Just ready to get over the wall if necessary. He's just going to use that to last hit the cannon. And he should be fine. Might have some action down bot. See Xindao about to face check.
Karis also has Unleashed Teleport. He's already on his way down regardless. Ruler.
A little bit of a lack of communication. I mean, they saw On Fleek coming in. The root not going to work. The flash comes in, and Ruler is just barely going to survive. Peanuts there right on time. And a double kill now for the Jarvan.
Calculated.
Absolutely, as now double teleporter coming in here. It is after 14 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, so you can do this once again. That old bot fight you know and love does come in, and Genji pick up 3 kills.
Yeah, really, really good turn there for Genji. I will not call it a bait, because I don't think that's actually what occurred, but it was a really nice turn from Peanut, who realized Roller had overextended, realized that Hanalife Esports were going to try to make that aggressive play there to punish, and then the teleports to match there from both solo laners meant that Genji were able to guarantee this ends up being a net gold exchange for them. Still, 2 teleports down does hurt, but it's absolutely worth it in this case. Look at how far away Peanut is when this all breaks down. The Yuumi ultimate here is the real MVP to start off because it gives Peanut the opportunity to actually Cataclysm in here and look for that kill. He's super tanky at this point, and then you're locked in here now as Hanalife. There's 2 teleports plus Curtain Call, so On Fleek is slowed. He cannot get out. There's no way. And he's also flashless, so just no realistic options for him there.
And Chovy was able to pick up the kill too, so that's more gold where you want it if you are Genji. You really need Chovy to be big so that the threat of him just assassinating your entire backline is there. It's not going to be super easy because you still got to deal with Karma, you know, getting those shields up and maybe even on fleek or due to peeling for them. But you're a Kali, you're really slippery, and if you're big, you can do what Karis did.
Yeah.
Actually, his last time out and basically 1v5. So
I also think that the build that Chovy is going for this game, which is not the tank variation that we've seen from Doingby and Showmaker and others going around solo queue, etc. That build in this particular case could give you a little bit more longevity, and there are a lot of squishy targets on the side of Life Esports, so you could still end up executing the backline. But I think going full explosive and actually having a little bit more mobility here with that dash to actually set up for big kills is what you want. Not going to be helpful in this particular case, but he'll slither his way out.
It helped him get that CS.
Yeah.
That's important.
That's what Chovy wants.
Yeah. Protobelt is just another spell to help you get CS.
But yeah, I
Sorry, Rocket Belt.
Yes. It's no longer in testing. But I do think it's a good build, given the situation. And because Akali can, if she's playing it right, so easily shatter the Crown of the Shattered Queen, as we've seen Chovy do several times before team fights or just in lane. As Doran is just going to deny some CS here as the turret goes down. Oh, these guys Mega Gnar form just being as frustrating as possible. He's 2 levels up this game with that 40 CS lead and the 2 kills he's picked up. He's big. And he's gone Gore Drinker too. Like, he's ready to sustain through this fight. He's not going for the standard build here on the Gnar. He's just going, I'm just going to press this Gore Drinker and I'm going to live through. No Sunder is needed.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I suppose more team fighty coming on in. As Dudu goes over the top, Peanut's still able to buffer that flag drag. Very important, as now Dudu, not the best spot. By the way, he did not go for the tank Gragas from what I can tell. He started off Everfrost here. We'll see how his build does develop. Could, of course, build some tank items from there. But you can see Doran and Peanut inside the pit here, about to be Mega Gnar. Perfectly timed from Doran. Just getting ready to maybe even hop off the dragon and get in there. He's going to wait. As Peanut will go in, gets that Cataclysm, and now it's Doran's time to shine. Perfectly played. Is the damage there, though, is the question. Chovy gets in, takes down Somdi, and Yuumi on top of a Fed Akali is something that Life were just not ready to handle at this point in time. They would have loved about 5 more minutes before this fight started.
Yeah, they need a little bit more time here, and unfortunately for Life Esports, the reaction... Ooh! And he gets it with the area. I think it's actually the very end there that gets him. He's got Ignite out too, but
look at his face.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
So happy.
Oh, yikes! But yeah, they need more time to be able to burst down this engaging Gnar. As Karis is dead, and suddenly the whole game is opened up for Gen.G because they secure Soul Point. They're going to get a lot of the map here. They're going to be able to grab this mid turret with Demolition. Doran easily gets that top turret. He's got a whole wave up there too. Just teleport up to guarantee. It didn't actually get the entirety of this turret, but again, like I said, a lot of the map is opened up right now. And you could see too in that fight, Chovy is so easily able to blow up those squishies in the back line. Somdi dies so fast. And it's really well coordinated because you have Cataclysm from Peanut, and then it's really easy to layer the final chapter on top of this when there's, like, look at this, goes into that gets out, and then boom, our ultimate final chapter, and Chovy's like, look at all the low health bars for me. That's what an Akali wants to see. Ends up picking up the double there, stopwatches his way out of death. They take out the Xin Zhao, and then turn here for more. So well executed here. This is the cleanest game we've seen from Gen.G so far, this best of 3.
And most importantly, the highlight of the fight, Lance getting a kill.
Ah! Yeah!
Hands off the keyboard. He doesn't need to go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things you could say about it, right? Like, Life, maybe you just wait one more Drake, try to, you know, at least get a couple more items. On your big hyper carries, the Victor and the Aphelios, I think they would have had a much easier time given that. And there's no exhaust either for the Akali. Like, I understand you take the Ignite for the lane, you try to dominate it hard, and yes, the Aphelios got very far ahead based off of that dominance in the lane, but no Ignite for the Akali means that, or no exhaust for the Akali means that she can just get in the back line, and if you have no way to peel for your AD carry, he's going to die, basically. So
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, too, in that last fight, I mean, there was so much CC and lockdown, and everybody's health bars were so low. I think it might have just delayed the inevitable, but in subsequent fights, it makes it so much easier for Chovy, who now has all that extra gold. As Peanut will be fine here.
So cheeky.
You notice, too, in that last exchange between the Akali and the Victor, that Victor just, like, stood his ground and continued to push. That is something that is going to be with this crown and how Victor stands in this meta right now as Kara starts to really come online here. Something that you have to be worried about is Gen G, because the Victor will end up beating out the Akali in the side lane. That's going to be a shattered crown, shattered.
Yeah. By the way, Protobelt's really good at shattering that.
Yes. I mean, everything Akali does is pretty solid for that one.
Yeah.
But
Doran is, like, really trying to min-max here.
I'm trying to think of ways in which Life Esports can weather the storm here and try to get that Victor goal back up to where he needs to be, but this is such a rough spot. Peanut's ready for the flank.
Yeah.
Dudu has to watch for Chovy, so let's be so cautious here. Genji, this time, a walk away. No overextending.
Yeah.
No tragedy in game 3. And everybody gets out alive. You take that 4,000 gold lead, you take it to the bank, you take it to the shop, you buy some items, you set up for that next objective fight in 75 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I liked them being aggressive, but as you mentioned, it's definitely, you know, a bit risky to just be diving turrets right now. You kind of want to get in there before the scaling gets too out of hand, but you also have to be a bit careful at the same time.
What's, you know, really interesting here is that Life Esports have a really nice edge going into this fight because it's a fight that they're finally online to take, and if Gen G don't take it, they also just get more time to slow down. So Gen G is actually the one who has to make a tough call here, even though they're so ahead that it seems like it should be easy. Like we said before this game even started when we looked at the drafts, the ease of execution is not easy, right? There is no ease, in fact, for what Gen G is running. They have to play this so well. The Narbar has to be there. Remember all the layers of CC we saw in that last Drake fight? They need to pull off a fight like that again to really secure the ultimate lead here. Because one misstep, and then suddenly you give Life Esports gold and time.
Yep, they still have a really strong front line. They still have this Omega meta comp. You know, I don't even know what to call it, but every champion on the side of Life works really well together, and they're extremely meta, so we'll see what they can do from behind. Is the carrying enough? Meganar is here and up at the exact right time. Once again, perfectly timed from Doran. As in will go on Fleek, they're trying to get on top of him. The ultimate doesn't do much, only pushes them away. As you see Akali trying to get into that Cataclysm is gigantic, and everybody just gets melted immediately. No more time left for Life. Gen G will take the dragon.
I mean, look at how hard it was to execute this fight for Gen G, but they nail it. I mean, they really do. As it gets worse here for Life Esports. But the fight there is Lehens is Lehens is mad, man, after game 1, and perhaps a little bit after game 2, but he's really feeling himself now. The way they were able to set up that Cataclysm, as Doran used his entire health bar and Narbar to corral them into a choke. It looked like you said, oh, the ultimate doesn't do that much, because it didn't in terms of damage, in terms of setting up anything at the beginning. But watch what happens. Doran holds his health bar here. 4-man ult, and then Peanut's like, I got 4 of them right here. Instantly, Chovy deletes the rest of the health bars. Double kill in less than a second. And On Fleek is unfortunately unable to get out of here with the slow coming through from Doran.
Yeah. And you begin to see, as we do have a one-on-one here, it looks like the Shuriken not going to land. The stun is there. Nice flash to get out of the queue. And he will actually survive, but Chovy is able to take that flash away.
Yeah, remember I said earlier, like, he's going to start staying in these Karasu's. Not anymore. Not the stage anymore.
A little bit rough spot for him now.
Yeah, it's 10 stacks on the Magi's with just the casual, needlessly large rod in the inventory.
Yeah.
You just slip one of those in your pocket, and you're feeling pretty good as an Akali.
It's a great item to get right now. I mean, he hasn't died even once, and Life has shown that they have no way to really kill this Akali. There's just way too much mobility, and, you know, even though I keep saying, like, Life have this, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a
they have like all the A ranks, right? Like they don't have any S tier champions in this, but they have all the A's, right? Like every single champion you want that's not in the first 3 bands on both sides, you know what I mean? They've got all of them.
It's just like one
And
of
it
those,
works together well.
You know, like how sometimes in real estate they have like example homes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things, you know, like you go into this example home, nobody actually lives there.
It's a model comp.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a model
comp.
It's
there
the model comp.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that is what it is.
It really does feel like that, but there are ways to take down model comps, and that's the beauty of League of Legends.
When you're just this coordinated, when you're just this good,
Yeah.
you're playing you're playing on hard mode, but the ceiling is higher. And that is what Gen G's comp is going to do. They're going to hit the ceiling, and at this point, Chovy's fist
Go
is
through to
the
the
roof.
second floor and, check out the rest of the house.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, like the glass elevator has smashed through the ceiling on this one.
Shout out to Doran and his Gnar play as well. I feel like this is one of the first games I watch, and I'm like, you know what? I'm beginning to understand why we're seeing a lot of Gnar picks. Because when it's executed like this, and you've got your team behind you, and you just always have the right timing on the Gnar bars, and it's like 5 members in there at the same time. You're not wasting your time in Mega Gnar. It really does have some power. As seen once again, he's doing a lot. The Cataclysm comes in. The Yumi's right on top. And, well, not quite as clean this time around, as Chovy will eventually take out the Gragas, but that is about it for him. On Fleek having a little bit of trouble as well. Ruler still very huge. And with the full health bar, will come in here and look to end this game. And the life of Karis. Looks like Gen G finally got it done, this time a bit faster than game number 2. 28 minutes will be the time as they are going in. Gnar misses. Doran with no reaction at all. He does not care. They got the win today, as the music will start early, but the game is still won. GG, Gen G with the 2-1.
Now, I know a lot of our audience is young, but I think everybody understands the concept of yin and yang, right? And I think for week 1, Gen G, we were on the light side with a little bit of dark. Here in this final series for Gen G, for one of the oldest players here on this roster and in the LCK, and his shot calling and him staying calm in a tough series like this is really what helps carry you through.
Yeah. Shout out to Gen G for upping the pace in this game, and, you know,